Last night on Monday Night Raw, Femi had accepted Brock Lesnar's open challenge match for a match at WrestleMania 42.
And last night, I watched Joe's hot take video, and I've got my response ready.
Roll the intro. All right, now that that's out of the way, let's get into the topics for the day, Jeff.
Yes, sir. So yesterday you had a hot take video talking about the Randy versus Cody.
Yes, I did.
And you think WWE handled it incorrectly. You had four main points. Number one, that they want a face versus heel match at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
You think that's overrated, not needed anymore?
Correct.
I disagree with you there.
You're wrong.
Number two, that Randy's a great heel. I can't argue with that. I think I saw something like 9 or 10 of Randy Orton's championship reigns have been while he was a heel.
Yeah.
He's definitely the perfect gray character, like a Stone Cold, rather not really heel or face, but he's great at both. That Cody's a sad baby face. I agree with that. I think I'll talk about why I don't think it's a good idea to turn him heel right now, but I do hope they do it down the line. And the last one is that the fans are cheering for Randy. Again, I think they handled Randy's turn incorrectly as well. And I'm going to talk more about that on our Friday video. That's a separate topic, but I got some ideas on how they could have handled the Randy heel turn better, because you are correct. They were cheering more for Randy by the end of the night than booing him. So going back to why I think you're wrong in that Cody should have turned right now. The WWE needs faces. They need true faces that the kids can cheer for. I know you don't really watch wrestling with kids. Your kids are grown. My kids are younger. When I got into wrestling with my kids, they were Cody Rhodes stans. They cheered for him. They rooted for him against the Bloodline and all that. So kids out there, they're dragging their parents to wrestling shows. Their parents are buying them gimmicks and gear and costumes and t-shirts and hats and all that stuff. WWE made a mistake last year when they turned John Cena heel with no provocation. Nobody liked it. They turned around and turned him face. It was awkward at that point. They were going to do the same thing with Cody Rhodes. That would have been the same mistake. The WWE needs true faces for their young fans to root for. As you mentioned in your video, there aren't a whole lot of those right now. Maybe Cody Rhodes and Penta. I think until they groom the next true babyface, that Cody Rhodes should stay that for the young wrestlers. Maybe somebody like a Javon Evans can step into that role. I think the crowd's behind him. Some kids can get behind him. But until they do that, if they had turned Cody Rhodes right now, they would have been making the same mistake with him that they made with John Cena this time last year. It wasn't earned yet. Anything you got a response?
I do, but go ahead.
No, that's my response right
that's
there.
It? That's your response? All right. I only got a couple seconds here. I forgot about Javon Evans. He's probably a true face. All right. I forgot about him when I was doing that thing. However, if they would have made Cody the heel, wouldn't that have made Randy the face?
But like we've said, Randy's not a true face.
He's not a true face, but he is face enough. Well, prior to this, he was face enough to where the crowd was behind him. The only thing that would really have changed in that situation is the 20 people who were behind Cody wouldn't be anymore.
I think our age group would have went for that. I just think those kids out there, they need the true American hero. They need the Hulk Hogan.
Okay.
They need the John Cena. They need Cody Rhodes.
I don't know if I can compare this to the same as the John Cena one, right? Because the John Cena whole storyline was he sold his soul out to The Rock and all this, and The Rock just bailed. He just decided he didn't want to play anymore, and he was done. So that's what ruined that. If The Rock was still part of that, I think that would have been way more successful than it was.
Maybe.
I think the fact that The Rock bailed out, leaving John Cena to kind of have to run it on his own and figure it out without the original storyline that they had is what ruined that.
Yeah, it was abrupt, whether it was The Rock leaving or whatever it was. And I think turning Cody Rhodes right now would have been abrupt. And again, that ties into my Friday story. I've got a perfect storyline for turning Cody Rhodes
Okay. And that's
Deal.
fine. We'll wait for Friday for that.
Check back on Friday.
But I still think you're not changing my mind on it.
That's all right. I'm not here to change your mind. I'm here to root for the kids out there. All those kids that want to scream Cody
How did
Rhodes.
it feel for the kids who wanted to scream for Cody Rhodes to watch him in a bloody mess at the end of that match or end of that segment?
As a kid, I saw Hogan bloodied many a times, and I cried. I was upset.
Different
I was hurt.
times now, man.
And you know what? When he came back and he won at WrestleMania 3 against Andre the Giant, I was excited as I've ever been.
But it's a different time now. It's not like that. Kids today are way more pampered and way more coddled and things teens, like that. So
but the kids out there, the 10 and younger, they want their Cody Rhodes, and it wasn't time. They don't have somebody in place to take those kids' heart.
Danhausen. Anyway, all right. So you heard Jeff's response. Let us know in the comments below. If you haven't heard my original hot take, watch that. That was posted the other day. It was rough. I apologize. I'm just getting used to being in the camera by myself, but they'll get better. And let me know. Let Jeff know. Was Jeff right?
Of course I was.
Or was Jeff wrong, as usual, and I was right? Who do you side with? Let us know in the comments below. Let's move on, Jeff, before we fight.
Yeah, moving on to the next topic. Topic number 2, Femi versus Brock Lesnar. We've been predicting this for a while. We've been hoping this for a while. It came to fruition last night. It was confirmed last night during Raw that Femi versus Brock Lesnar will happen during WrestleMania.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
I think I'm more excited for that than than the other main events right now.
Really,
that excitement is really got me going, and I'm obviously it can go bad, but as after last night, I was excited.
Yeah, I really like Femi. I've been an advocate for him since the beginning. I was talking about him before Jeff even knew what an Femi was, and I've been pushing for him. I think it's fantastic that he's getting this main event spot, or not main event, but like main spot, whatever, WrestleMania match.
This is a spotlight match.
Yeah,
this is going to be one of the biggest 3 or 4 matches in WrestleMania this year.
Yeah, I agree. I'm a little concerned that it's against Brock Lesnar. Not that I don't think that he can beat Brock Lesnar. What is Brock Lesnar going to do politically behind the scenes to ruin this? That's what I'm a little concerned about. Because there was a report, and we talked about it last week at one of our shows. You know, Brock Lesnar said that he doesn't want to lose anymore until he retires, right? What does that mean for this match?
I don't think WWE books this without Brock Lesnar agreeing to lose, but go ahead. I got another thought, but go ahead and finish yours.
No, I mean, that's kind of what I was thinking too. I mean, did Brock Lesnar do that? Or are they just going to make it like a double DQ where neither guy takes the loss officially?
Yeah, I guess they could beat each other into oblivion and something happens.
Yeah, and they can start hitting each other with chairs or something like that, right? And it's become a big hoss fight, a big meat versus meat fight. And they're just going at each other and they get disqualified, a double DQ, or even something as stupid as like a double count out.
Yeah. I'm okay with a good old fashioned slobber knocker as long as Femi gets his shots in and it's not a squash. But I think the good thing with them happening, we're 5 weeks from WrestleMania. Yeah. 4, I think, from Saturday. So almost 5 weeks away. We've got Brock Lesnar has 4 or 5 weeks now to come out and beat up or respond or retaliate to Femi.
Yeah.
And allowing him to show face and save face and to show some strength, but while turning around and either dropping or maybe having like I said, a no contest or a double DQ at WrestleMania that kind of saves both wrestlers. I'm hoping Brock Lesnar does the right thing. John Cena put him over in the past. Other wrestlers have put him over in the past. And I'm really hoping that Brock Lesnar does the right thing and puts over the young man.
Yeah, because he's like pretty much the next Brock Lesnar, really, if you think about it. Just as far as pure size and power. Last thing I have on this is, someone made a comment on one of those videos and I'll post it up somewhere. And they said, Brock Lesnar, and he's done this before, but during the, after the end, he was like, he jumped into the fall from grace move, and then he told Femi to put his foot on him and stuff like that. So he's very good for trying to sell the things, but he just makes it way over obvious, way overacting.
Well,
to do that stuff.
That's not on Brock. That's on the cameraman. That's on the director. You know, that he was trying to help the image, and yes, he got caught on camera giving directions, but that's. But
he's been caught doing that before.
Yeah. Again, is that his fault or is that the director? That's the problem with 4K TVs and everything. We see everything. We can read lips, but you know what else that 4K TV caught that I thought was amazing last night? When Brock Lesnar rolled out of the ring, the pure emotion on Obafemi's face. And whether it was a tear or sweat, a lot of people thought it was a tear, but you could see that man appreciates what's going on, and he is super excited and enthused as a wrestler, and that just completely why the crowd buys into him.
You know what Obafemi was doing before wrestling?
What's that?
He was a shot putter.
Chucking. He's been chucking those rocks. Wrestlers around like those shot put balls, man. Crazy. I can't wait to see him chuck Brock Lesnar across the ring.
Yeah, he kind of did yesterday. I mean, I know Brock jumped into it, but it was still impressive. Brock's not a small guy.
Yeah.
But all right. Anyway, we move on.
Yeah. Next topic. We've got. It appeared, according to the WWE website, I haven't seen an official release, but I'm going with it. If you look at the WWE website for ticket sales, it lists for night 1 ticket sales. It shows a picture of Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton. If you look at night 2 ticket sales, it lists Roman Reigns versus CM Punk.
Yep.
So I'm assuming those were the main events for each of those nights. Do you think they got that right?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Explain
without
why.
a doubt. Explain why? Because in the wrestling stratosphere, Roman Reigns versus CM Punk is a bigger dream match than the other one, right? I don't know when the last time, if ever, CM Punk and Roman Reigns have fought. I don't know. I don't think they ever have. I could be 100% wrong on that, but if they did, it was forever ago. Where Cody and Randy fought within the last year.
Night of Champions, I think it was.
Night of Champions, yeah. So I think that's the right move. I think that's the bigger match. I think with the implications, which we'll talk about later, with the bloodline and stuff like that, I think there's more there. Now, is the Randy Cody storyline a little hotter right now? Probably.
Yeah, that was going to be my thought.
Because
I'm more
of the
excited for that right
and
now.
Stuff like because Randy turning and just destroying Cody Rhodes. But I think the other one is a bigger match. I think Roman Punk, with the possibility of the bloodline reforming, is a much bigger story.
I agree with that. I agree. I think right now, over the weekend, we were all hyped for Randy versus Cody with Randy's turn on Friday night. But Roman is the number one draw in the WWE right now. He deserves that slot as the main eventer of WrestleMania. I'm not the biggest CM Punk fan, but he's clearly over with the crowd. He's the underdog. Even as the champion, he's going to be the underdog in this match. And everybody loves a true underdog versus the champion story. And while CM Punk is the champion on paper, Roman Reigns is the champion in everybody's, I don't want to say everybody's heart right now, but he's the champion in history. He's got the longest championship reign in modern WWE history.
Yeah.
So I think this is the right choice. I mean,
there's a lot of asterisks next to that. No. But yeah, I agree. Roman, I don't disagree with the fact that Roman's the biggest star in WWE. I don't disagree with that. He by far is. I mean, I feel like the cheers were louder for him than they were for CM Punk.
And that's the only time I've ever heard that happen. Yeah. He's the only person I've ever heard take CM Punk's cheers and chants away from him.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Did they get it right? Yes, they got it right. They have your two biggest stars. If Roman's number one, CM Punk's number two, they're going against each other. That should be the actual main event, which is the night 2 main event. I think the night 1 main event, kind of like the participation trophy. It's a main event, but more people watch night 2 for the bigger surprises, the bigger matches, than night 1.
And it's also a way for WWE to elevate that belt, the newer belt, to the level of the older belt. Yes. So I think everybody looks at that as the lesser belt, but I think a match like this, main eventing night 2 of WrestleMania, elevates that belt to be equal to the others.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
yep. I agree with you, sir.
Yes, there you go. All right, last night on Raw, Bayley wrestled AJ Lee for the Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah, who could have picked that outcome?
Bayley lost by a tap out. I was excited to see not one, but 2 submission wins last night. That had me excited. But after the match, Becky Lynch came out and attacked AJ Lee to continue their feud. It looked like it may have been over for a while. We haven't seen Becky and AJ in a couple weeks, but it looks like we might be leading toward maybe that match at WrestleMania as we predicted last week. Thoughts?
I mean, I have a couple thoughts, but I don't know how much they relate to this. Well, they relate to it, but directly to what you're asking. First off, everybody knew Bayley was going to lose to AJ Lee. This is what we talked about last week. It should have been Ivy Nile in this spot. Bayley wasn't going to win. AJ Lee is definitely going to WrestleMania as the champion. That's where the money is. Why not give someone like Ivy Nile that spot? Give her the title shot. It gives her a little more spotlight on her, stuff like that.
Gives a little more cachet with the crowd. Lets her know that WWE sees her as a serious wrestler.
Yeah, exactly. But instead they went with Bayley, who, I mean, yes, Bayley's a legend and she's great in all of these things, but we knew she was going to lose.
Yeah. The only thing I can think of with AJ being out for a while, it's a way to just solidify her as like she's not just a spotlight here holding the belt for Becky to maybe win it back, or she's not just here to feud with Becky. She's going to take out other champions. She's going to take out somebody to the level of Bayley. So while, yes, I would have rather have seen someone like Ivy Nile in that match, I think it makes AJ Lee look stronger in her return to take out somebody like a Bayley.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I do. I want to see different people. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong there. I want to see different people in the main events. I want to see different people challenging for titles.
Especially these mid-card titles, the Intercontinental title. Like Bayley, she's a legend. She should be going after one of the heavyweight titles.
Yeah.
AJ Lee's the same thing. Yes, she's just new back, but her and Becky Lynch, we're talking about 3 of the top 5, top 10 female wrestlers of all time, and they're going after the Intercontinental champion. Unless WWE is using this as a way to try and elevate that and make that title more serious.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, so Becky attacked, and we're getting exactly what everybody thought. Well, we think anyway. Becky, AJ Lee at WrestleMania. It's kind of what everybody thinks, and possibly Becky and CM Punk winning and leaving with, or not CM Punk, I'm sorry, Roman Reigns winning, and both CM Punk and AJ Lee losing their titles.
So yeah, it was predictable. Again, going into this, it was the same thing with the CM Punk Finn Balor match. You knew what they were building toward at WrestleMania, so you knew that these matches, the outcomes were pretty much predetermined. Mm-hmm. Not only, we know they're predetermined, but at least in our minds, it really gave us no incentive to watch the match. But I can say that this match, having Becky Lee and AJ Lee at WrestleMania, it is open in my mind. That would be a tough prediction. If I had to predict today, I don't know who I would pick in that match right now.
With Becky and AJ Lee?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So that's where it's going.
We're not doing that pick today.
Yeah. No, I know, but I think it's building toward a good match that I want to see. I would have just rather seen a different buildup.
Yeah, I agree.
Right,
let's move on.
Yeah, speaking of women's matches at WrestleMania, we're predicting now AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch. What about the women's main event, the WrestleMania main event? We've got Rhea Ripley versus Jade Cargill and Liv Morgan versus Stephanie Verker. We know that the men's matches are going to be their main events, the last nights of the match. Should the women's matches open the show? And which one should be night 1 and night 2?
I don't know. I mean, we think. I mean, I guess they haven't said that those are going to be the main events, right?
No, I haven't seen anything on it lately. We're assuming the men are, because that's what they're advertising right now on ticket sales. So again, that's an assumption we're making, and a lot of other people are making.
And those are bigger matches, to be fair, than the 2 women's main event matches. But yeah, I think you run into a risk with certain, and I'm trying to be delicate with this, right? Yeah. And I don't mean any disrespect by it, but you run into a risk with opening a WrestleMania with a women's match. And some of the women's matches, let's be honest, aren't great.
No, I agree.
They're very choreographed. Not all of them are, but some of them can be more choreographed or just botch heavy and things like that. And putting that at the beginning of a WrestleMania could just kill the crowd for the rest of the thing. However, there have been some good women's matches that could elevate the crowd. So I think that's a weird line that they have to go.
Something else to think about this year. ESPN is offering, ESPN2 is going to have the first hour of night 1 free, and then they're going to try and get people to pay for the app to continue watching it. And then ESPN1, the main channel, is going to have night 2 free for the first hour. So they're definitely going to want matches that perform, that draw people in during that opening hour.
I could see, I forgot about that, and that kind of changes my thought process a little bit. I can see them putting the women's title matches at the end of the free hour. Right?
Okay, they do a first
almost
match.
Like, it's like another main event.
Yeah.
That's the main event of the free hour. And then you have to watch for the rest of it to get the other main
We'll
event.
start the match. We'll get you 5 minutes into the match.
Yeah.
And if you want to see the outcome, switch to our app and pay for it.
Something like that. Yeah. That's what I think. I can't see them opening. I know a lot of, from what I've read, opening WrestleMania is the next best thing to closing WrestleMania.
They like to start their PLEs, particular WrestleMania, with big matches that draw people in.
Yeah. And I think we talked about it afterwards or prior to this, but Oba Brock would be a perfect opening match, right? Just two hams going at it, and that would pop the crowd. But they could. I mean, all four of these ladies are over with the crowd. I just think there's a risk there with it being too either overbooked, over choreographed, or too botchy.
So if I had to predict right now, I would go Ova versus Brock opening night one, just to kick off WrestleMania with an absolute banger. And then I think Liv and Stephanie open night two because they're two great wrestlers. I've got issues with Jade Cargill.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Rhea Ripley's great.
That's kind of where
I'm not sure about Jade. So I don't see her opening the night, but I can see Brock and Oba opening one night and Liv and Stephanie Vaquer opening the second night, or vice versa.
Yeah.
I could see those as being two opening matches.
Yep. I agree with that. And that's kind of where I was going with that. I was trying to be nice, but Jade's matches aren't great.
Yeah. So I'm hoping her wrestling somebody like Rhea Ripley. Maybe
but Rhea can only do so much.
But maybe it'd be more of a powerhouse match between the two of them.
Yeah, maybe.
So similar to an Oba and Brock match. So,
yep.
All right, we'll move on. We'll talk about more of that in the future as we get closer. So
we have one topic left, Jeff.
One topic left. So last night on Raw, when Roman showed up, he had a conversation with Jimmy and Jey Uso. And he thanked them for sticking up for him and the family last week on Raw and confronting CM Punk and demanding an apology. They didn't get the apology they wanted. And CM Punk looked at the camera and said, I'm calling out all my cousins, everybody in the bloodline, everybody in my family should be upset with CM Punk right now. You guys have my permission, you guys, whatever. He's open territory until the weekend of WrestleMania and then after. But the weekend of WrestleMania, he's mine. So is he going to pull the bloodline back together, or is this going to backfire on him?
I got a thing for this coming up. Wait for my next hot take. I'll be out on Thursday. But I hope he does, right? I think we need the bloodline back. I think, yes, it's an older storyline. Yes, they pushed it they pushed that storyline for years, right?
The entire time when I first started watching wrestling, it had been going for a while. And
yeah. But that was the time of the best that I can, at least in the recent history, the best storytelling, the best everything, right? It was the bloodline versus basically the entire roster. And now they have a reason to unite. Before it was just, this is my family and we're going to, kick your ass. But now they have a reason to unite, right? Because CM Punk said those things about Roman's dad. And the people who are in the bloodline are much bigger stars than they were.
Yeah.
I think, and Jacob Fatu was never even part of that.
Right.
He was part of Solo's bloodline.
Yeah,
when
right.
Solo was doing it.
The new bloodline.
Yeah, the new bloodline.
Which
he wasn't
now
even part of the
evolved
Roman
into
bloodline.
the MFTs.
Right. So I think there's a whole brand new world of storytelling they could do there. Yeah. This would remind me a little bit more of the NWO stuff, where it's just a pure dominant faction until they screwed up the NWO. But
they screwed up the bloodline. The same thing. You had the black and white NWO. You had the red and black NWO. Yeah. And then all of a sudden you had Roman's bloodline and Solo's bloodline. Yeah, reunited under one force.
Yeah, just reunited all under Roman if they want, or they can have The Rock or whoever they want. I do think that WWE needs a bloodline. They need a good dominant faction. The Judgment Day was it for a little bit, but they're kind of falling apart.
Yeah.
And there's really no more factions. Like Triple H went heavy into the factions for a while, and now they're all kind of gone.
Yeah, there were 3 or 4 factions.
LWO and
even the AJ Lees had the brothers, the Good Brothers. AJ Styles had the Good Brothers, and You know, there were several different factions that never really caught on as much as the Bloodline and
Right.
Judgment Day, but there were. So the other thing we could see is potentially, is this a way to turn the Usos against Roman Reigns a little bit further, or reunite Solo versus Roman Reigns? While with Roman, he very specifically called out leave CM Punk alone the weekend of WrestleMania. Does somebody ignore that order and Roman turns against them? That's a potential storyline too.
I mean, I guess it is, but they already did the Usos turning against Roman,
Yes.
right? They did that already.
Yeah.
So I think I don't think that's right. I think, and I'm sure they're going to probably do it, but just for now,
Yeah.
bring the Usos,
back.
bring Solo in, bring Fatu in, bring, the Tongans in, all these guys in, create even Pirate.
Let's do it. But even as Jay would say, let's run it back.
Yeah.
Run it back.
I agree. I think they need to. I really think they need to. But that's all I'm going to say about it.
Yeah.
Because
save the rest for your hot take.
My hot take coming out on Thursday is going to go more in depth on this bad boy.
And my response will be on Friday.
Incorrect. Just like today's. But anyway, that was it, right? And that was the last topic.
That was our last
topic for today. So we try to keep these shorter. We tend to ramble a little bit. We're getting better, and then we get worse.
We're good. We're doing great.
It's like 3 steps forward, 18 steps back, and then 19 steps back forward again. But, again.
It's not moving backwards?
What's that?
Our subscription base.
Oh, don't jinx it, buddy. Don't jinx it.
Thank you, guys. Thanks
knock
again.
on this fake wood here. But thank you, guys. We do appreciate it. We're having a blast. We hope you guys are enjoying the content. So let us know. Let us know down below. Whose take was right? Was Jeff's take right?
We need a true face like Cody Rhodes in the WWE right now.
Or was my take right, where Cody Rhodes should be the true heel and not the face? Let us know down in the description below. Let us know what you think. As you can see in this video, I brought up one chat up in this video here, and we'll bring up more if you guys say anything good and fun. We'll bring it up. Other than that, though, thank you. We appreciate everything you guys have done. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Make sure you tell all your friends and all that good stuff. And we'll see you guys in the next video.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching another episode of Wrestle Stop. If you liked what you saw, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell icon. You can reach us at any of the addresses on screen. And there's a couple extra videos here on the screen. If you liked what you saw, maybe you'll like one of these as well. Thanks for watching.